Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to another Vinyl Thoughts. Today we're going to keep counting down my top 10 albums of all time. But today you're going to get a little bit of a twofer, and that's because my number 8 album of all time, I already did a video on before. So I'm going to post that down below. So if you really want to know how I feel about my number 8, just go click on that. So we're going to do number 8 and number 7 today. And my number 8, very quickly, Helmut, Meantime. Came out in 1992, heavy as fuck, groovy as fuck. It was an album that helped me learn how to play guitar. I played along to a lot of these songs. I'm not really going to go into much detail because you can get all that shit at the video that I linked down below. So there you go. Number 8, Helmut, Meantime. Let's move on to number 7. And guess what? My number 7 album of all time also came out in 1992. Angel Dust by Faith No More. It's one of those albums that if somebody comes up to me and says, "How do you feel about Angel Dust?" I would say, give me a minute to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of get your thoughts together on this because there's a lot to unravel on Angel Dust. And I remember when it came out, I was already a huge fan of Faith No More because of the album The Real Thing. So I was ready. I was so fucking ready, and I went to get this album. I think I originally bought it on cassette, if I remember right, when it came out in 1992. And at first, I didn't really know what to think. I liked it, but it was easily a very different album from The Real Thing. It was like less funky, a little more weird, a little more serious. There was a lot of other elements from other music all kind of thrown in, and Mike Patton all of a sudden sort of showed me, and probably a lot of other people, that he was more than just this sort of goofy, high-pitched singer guy that was on The Real Thing. He had a lot more to offer. He was a versatile vocalist. I don't need to preach to the choir. For those of you who already are into Mike Patton, you know what I'm talking about. He's an amazing vocalist. And I think for me, because I don't think I had heard Mr. Bungle before I heard Angel Dust. So this was my first introduction to exactly what Mike Patton could accomplish. But aside from Mike Patton, on this album, there's just so many fucking great experimental songs that don't really fit in any particular category. Almost, you just got to call it a rock album because it doesn't really fit. Alternative, I guess, but it's heavy. It's got elements of metal. It's got experimental elements. There's a fucking country sounding song on here. It's just one of the first records I remember hearing where my mind was kind of open to, oh shit, you can kind of just do whatever you want when you're a badass band, right? And if you're good at doing it, then you produce a fucking amazing record like this one. Let's take a look at the vinyl here. So this is not a 1992 version. This is the Music on Vinyl reissue. When was this? 2013 was when this came out. And I don't really like reissues, but it was kind of hard to find an original of this one. But to be fair, if you're going to get a repressing of something, Music on Vinyl does a pretty damn good job. I have some issues here and there with some of their reissues, but for the most part, if you can't get another version and it's an album that you really, really want on vinyl, that's not a bad route to go. And also another thing that I really like about this reissue is that on the fourth side, it ends with Midnight Cowboy, the cover of the theme song from the movie of the same name. And it seems like, oh yeah, cool, well that's the whole album. But guess what? You get a little secret track at the end too. They included their cover of the song Easy by the Commodores. So it's kind of a fun little thing. I put the album on, and then that song came on. I was like, oh shit! All right, look at that, an extra song. So anyway, there you have it. My number 7 album of all time, Angel Dust by Faith No More. Once again, like I always say, if you haven't heard this album, do yourself a favor, go out and listen to it. Yeah, honestly, I would say when it comes to Faith No More, that's the album to start with, and then kind of just go in either direction and find all the rest of the shit. So yeah, thank you for watching once again. I'm going to continue. Next time you see me for Vinyl Thoughts, it's going to be my number 6, right? Yes. Next time, number 6. So I'll see you guys again next time.